We all carry emotions inside of us, some that support us, and others that limit us. We learn to hide pain, suppress anger, manage fear, and appear strong on the outside, until the body can no longer hold it. Then it speaks through anxiety, tension, exhaustion, or even physical symptoms. And in that moment, the real question appears: what can I do about this? How do I stop feeling this way? Do I really have to live like this forever? One of the most powerful ways to change how we feel is not by fighting emotions, but by redirecting attention. That is where gratitude comes in. Not as a forced smile or a motivational slogan, but as a real neurological shift in how the brain and nervous system react. This idea is also built into the method eutaptics, faster EFTU, created by Robert G. Smith, a method that teaches not how to suppress emotions, but how to change their source. Gratitude isn't being thankful. It's a neurological switch. Most people think gratitude means saying, I should be thankful. Other people have it worse. I should appreciate what I have. But that's not real gratitude. True gratitude is not a sentence. It is a state in the body. Oh, it is the moment when the brain stops sending danger signals and begins to register safety, relief, and possibility. This is why many people say, I can't feel grateful when I'm struggling. But that is exactly when gratitude has the greatest power. Not as a mask over pain, but as a shift away from threat and towards something that doesn't hurt. When that shift happens, the body changes. Breathing softens, muscles release, heart rate stabilizes, and the mind opens again. Robert G. Smith often says something that sounds almost provocative. It's not what you have, it's what you emphasize. Well, one person lives in a house and feels poor. Another lives in a small apartment and feels blessed. One person has a family, but focuses only on what is missing. Someone else would give everything to have even a fraction of what others take for granted. So the problem is not the situation. The problem is the focus. Why is gratitude so hard to feel when we need it most? Because the mind follows a simple rule. The brain always proves what we focus on. If we look for what is wrong, the brain will serve us more evidence that life is difficult. If we look for what is working, the brain amplifies that instead. It is not psychological trickery. It is how the nervous system filters reality. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about giving the nervous system a reason to stop firing alarm signals. That is why gratitude is used inside faster EFT, not as a positive thinking exercise, but as a way to help the brain feel safe enough to heal what hurt. A story that changes how we see gratitude. During one faster EFT session, Robert worked with a woman who believed she had nothing left. She had lost her husband, her health, her job, and her motivation. When Robert asked her to find something she was grateful for, she cried and said, I can't, there is nothing. Instead of forcing affirmations, he said, then let's start small. Can you breathe? Is your heart still strong enough to bring you here? Is the chair supporting you? Is there light in the room? Can you hear my voice? As she stopped searching for something big enough and began noticing simple things that were undeniably present, her body changed. Her shoulders dropped. Her breath deepened. Her face softened. For the first time in years, she exhaled without pain. That wasn't magic. That was gratitude in action, a shift from surviving into living. Gratitude is not denial. It is control. Well, some people avoid gratitude because they think it minimizes their suffering or excuses what happened to them. But true gratitude never denies pain. It simply refuses to let pain be the only voice in the room. That is why gratitude is a core step in faster EFT. It is the moment where the mind stops fighting and starts receiving. The more safety the brain feels, the easier it becomes to rewrite old memories, trauma, and emotional patterns. How to practice gratitude when it feels impossible. You don't start with what you should. feel. Outside. Start with what is already true. Breath, warmth, light, the ability to read these words. Gratitude is not a feeling. It is a direction of focus. The feeling comes later. The choice comes first. You don't need reasons to be happy. You only need to stop feeding reasons to feel powerless. Gratitude doesn't erase pain. It gives you the strength to face it without collapsing. When we change what we look at, we change what we feel. When people experience their first big shift through faster EFT, they often say, "This is strange. I didn't solve anything. I just feel lighter." Exactly. Emotions are not facts. They are responses. When the response changes, the experience changes too. Gratitude makes that shift possible. It is the first step in turning off survival mode so the mind and body can reset. Gratitude is not weakness. It is one of the strongest inner choices a person can make. If you want to go deeper, if you want to understand how gratitude fits into the full emotional change process and learn how to work with your own memories, reactions, and emotional triggers, visit my store. You'll find ebooks that will guide you through the first steps of emotional healing and the core principles of faster EFT. You don't have to wait for life to change. The change starts with where you place your attention.